Do you believe in miracles, Sens fans? The Ottawa Senators beat the best team in the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche, a team that has had their number since 2020, 5-2 at the Canadian Tire Center. I'm Brandon Piller, joined by Jack Richardson and the Martian. Nice little trio here for a big win. And of course, the Vibecast are brought to you by where the vibes are free at the GCP. Everybody go check out the GCP. Just one more home game at the CTC where you can hop on the GCP shuttle, go to the website, get your ride there, back, have fun at the bar with other Sens fans, and there's good times to be had, not just for Sens games and Sens event. They got live music, trivia night, wings, tacos, you name it. Check it out at the GCP, 779 Bank Street. All right, boys, a 5-2 win. Jack, you've been covering this game the whole time, so I'll let you catch your breath here, and I'll let Martian get his first take on it. Marshy, how you feeling, buddy? What a win.
How's it not to feel amazing, boys? I mean, it's impossible not to. That's an unexpected but hard-earned win by your Ottawa Senators right there. All the way from top to bottom. Just a great performance from the whole team, and I loved what I saw. And this could be the TSN turning point that this team needed, right? 2 straight wins over 2 really good teams from the Western Conference. That'll get the mojo going, if anything, boys. And I think timing couldn't be better here. I mean, we're back. I feel back.
We are so back, Martian. Jack, you've been doing the live watch parties for an extended time here. This is in this small stretch. This is your second game covering Sens versus Avalanche. This could not be any more different, the duality of these two games. Did you think the Ottawa Senators were going to be able to pull this off?
To be honest, no, not until the final buzzer there, Pilsy. Maybe for Timmy's empty netter, because they've played good games in the last little bit, but it's just been right at the end or the last period or whatever it was. But when you look at the sample all night, this was an awesome game from the Sens. Defensively, offensively, capitalizing on chances. That was probably the most complete effort they've had all season, and it just happened to be against the best team in the NHL. I'm fired up, boys. That defensive effort from those top guys specifically was special. Jake Sanderson, I can't say enough. We'll get into all that, but buzzing after that win. Live watch party was awesome. Everyone was nail biting, and what a way to end it with 2 empty netters.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can stifle Nathan MacKinnon to no points and a -3, Cale Makar, no points and a -2. And it's not like these guys didn't play. Makar played 27-22. MacKinnon played 23-36. They were on the ice. They had their chances. But one spot, Marshy, where they didn't have their chances was on the power play. The Ottawa Senators played a disciplined game up against a fast, overskilled team like the Colorado Avalanche. How big was that to you that they were able to keep out of the box in this one?
Yeah, it's enormous. Colorado's got so many great weapons on offense that when they go out there for the power play, they're going to make you pay more times than not. And the Sens did a really good job staying out of the box. There wasn't even very many close calls, I didn't feel like, Pilsy. Like nothing that the Sens did out there. Nick Cousins was playing his game, and he was able to even stay disciplined out there. I thought this was one of the better games of his season so far as well. And when the Sens are playing a disciplined game, it goes to show you that, at 5-on-5, they can hang with the best in the league here. So it's a great sign. It's something that they should really focus on because, I mean, it feels a lot different when they're not putting themselves behind the 8 ball by taking a penalty and ending up on the kill, getting scored on short-handed. I mean, who needs a new shorthanded or a penalty kill coach when you don't even have to play shorthanded, Pilsy? That's the easiest solution to all those problems right there. Just stay out of the friggin' box. So for me, it's very easy. You just play a disciplined game like they did tonight. Keep your emotions in check. Don't do anything stupid, and you're gonna give yourself a good chance to win here.
Yeah, Mike Yo's recipe for success for the penalty kill: no penalties. Let's keep it easy here. Yeah. And look, James Reimer didn't steal this game by any means, but he had to step up in big moments. And a tough thing to do for goalies is not get a lot of shots sometimes. Like the Colorado Avalanche only got 18 shots. That's according to LOSB stats department. That's 5 fewer shots than their next least amount of shots in a game this season. So the Sens did a great job, but Reimer had to stay in the game somehow, and he made some big saves. And the goals he allowed, like, I wouldn't even say were really his fault or bad goals necessarily. So this was a game where your goalie keeps you in it. The overall team has a good effort. You don't take any penalties. You're aggressive on the forecheck. And one thing we noticed, Jack, when I was in the watch party with you first period, how about the way these guys played in the neutral zone? Like, I think that's kind of where this game was won and lost, in my opinion.
I like that you said one too there, Pillsy, because it wasn't just the way they defended. They clogged it up. They didn't let Natchez and McKinnon and McCarr get their legs going. That's a fast team for Colorado, and we saw it in Colorado 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. They just burnt the Sens every goal. But it feels like tonight the Sens did a good job defending it, but they also took advantage of it, boys. All of their goals without the empty netters, and I guess the empty netters too, were stretch passes. And how often have we seen that from this team? I think all 6 defensemen had an assist tonight, which is crazy. In a 5-2 win, Sanderson, of all guys, only got an assist until the empty netter. But they were using the neutral zone effectively on the offense, which is a bit new, I think. They get most of their goals grinding, cycling, bounces in front of the net. But Martian, I mean, Ridley Greig's was a perfect example. Just a stretch pass, goes by a stick, and he's on it. And that goal fired me up, man, because it was right after a bit of a backbreaker because it was a mistake by Jensen, goes in, tied game, and then all of a sudden Ridley Greig answers like 20 seconds later.
Yeah, huge timely goal from Ridley Greig there, because when they tied it up 1-1, we go, oh no, here we go again. This could end up going the other way here. Momentum's now on Colorado's side, but they didn't let it go there, right? Long stretch pass by Tyler Clevin that ends up going to the wrong guy. He was aiming for whoever was scooting through the neutral zone there. Gets through everybody all the way into Colorado's end, bounces off the backboards, and really Greig doesn't screw around with that thing. He just rips that thing top corner, nice little half clapper action. And Ridley Greig, the way they're stretching it out, boys, that just goes to show you, right? Nothing moves faster than the puck through the neutral zone. You can skate as fast as you want, but you'll never move as fast as that little black thing out there. So let that thing fly, move it around as quick as you can. And that's what, get it behind the defense here, right? They get them moving the wrong direction. You can get on those things and make good things happen, just like they did tonight. So I loved what I saw. Everything about it, boys, is just a very quality win. I'm in a great mood because of it.
Oh, it's a vibecast, Marshy. We're loving it here. And you really see the speed of Ridley Greig recently. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but ever since the New York game when he got hot with 3 assists and he's been getting points to seemingly almost every single game, it hasn't been the classic kind of Ridley Greig messing around in front of the net, banging in greasy garbage goals. Like, he's been blowing by defensemen. He's been pulling off nice moves in tight. He's been making great plays like he did tonight, where he has to time it perfectly at the blue line and then beat his man to the puck and then just fire it in. Don't mess around. So Ridley Greig has been a player that has really, really turned things around in this recent stretch. And he's been a big part, Martian, of that Cousins Tkachuk line. He's been kind of the third piece. He's been that number 6 guy in the top 6 that's really worked out recently.
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe one of the smartest things Gary Galley said tonight was that Ridley Greig can really play on any line, right? Like, he really can. Like, when you put him with the top 6 guys, he can hang with them, no problem. He can produce offense like he does. And then if you want to put him in the bottom 6 and you want him to be a bit more of a grinder and just go out there and kind of bang bodies and play a good defensive game, he can do that too. And Pillsy really starting to come into his own as an NHL hockey player, right? I think he got off to a bit of a slow start to begin this year, but since then, and since he's kind of been up with Tkachuk and Cousins, it's been that, classic really Greig style where he can really let himself go and play the type of game that he's meant to play, which is that hard physical, hard-nosed game, but then add in that really nice mix of skill as well, where he can make you pay if you leave him in open space like he was tonight. He's got good offensive instincts, that little Ridley Greig. So, that's the kind of player that is going to do a lot of good things for you here. And he did it tonight, and he's been doing it the last handful of games, 10 games maybe or so. And I mean, that's what we need, right? With a guy like Michael Amadio kind of falling off offensively, somebody else has got to kind of pick up that slack. You can't expect him to do it all year. So someone like Ridley Greig is the perfect example of a guy saying, next man up mentality here. Let me kind of pick up the slack and let me get some points on the board.
Yeah, you need your depth guys to chip in. Can't just all be Brady, Stützle, Sanderson. And this is so crazy, guys. Like, 2-0 with a +9 goal differential since Pillsy pressed the panic button. Boys, this didn't just happen up against 2 random teams either. This is the Vegas Golden Knights 7-1 win, a team that has had the Sens number. And then the Colorado Avalanche, the best team in the NHL. Sure, they got injuries. Sure, they've fallen off as of late. But again, a team that has had the Sens number. When I pressed that panic button, it was partially because of how that Carolina game went. But also, I was like, the next two games are going to be an absolute gong show after what we just watched here. And then we're so far behind, we can't find ways to win. And they pull this off, Jack. Like, what does this tell you about the team's kind of resilience? And like, now you're sitting there, if you're the Sens, like, we just beat the Avalanche convincingly at home. There's no reason why we can't beat any team in the league moving forwards here.
It's hard to remember back-to-back wins like that against two better opponents back-to-back, right? Like, they've had wins against good teams in the past, especially last season and even this season. They've beaten some good teams. They beat Vegas in Vegas, whatever it was. But back-to-back, when your back's against the wall, you're dead last in the division, to pull out those performances, man, against teams that are rested. They weren't playing last night. The Avalanche had 2 days off on the road for all, like, the weirdest schedule anomaly. We talked about it, Pilsy, but I think that's just, it's a testament to their character, man. And we can go crazy after losses. I've sat here and said blow it up a couple times when they've lost some of these games with the way they've choked them, and like rightfully so, given how bad the collapses were, like against Montreal and Nashville. But these performances, putting it together for a full 60 minutes is pretty indicative of them growing as a team. And I think getting timely saves from Reimer really goes a long way. He finishes tonight with an 889, but both goals not going to fault him on. One squeaks through him, but they're both pretty good looks. He made the saves he had to, and that's all we've been asking for, is just give us 890. Give us a little less than league average, and this team will win a lot of hockey games. And I know the hill is steep. They've got 8 points to make up here with one game in hand, a lot of other teams to pass. But boys, if they play like this, there are a lot of hockey games left. This team's not dead.
Yeah, Jack, it's the convincing fashion for me, right, that they're doing it in. You beat Vegas by 6 goals, and then you hold Colorado to just 18 shots, which, thank you, LSOP stats department, for this one. That's 5 less shots than they've had all year in all their games. They've never allowed less shots than that all season, and that's 5 less than that. And then, meanwhile, they've only lost 6 regulation games coming into this one, and you hand them their 7th of the season. Only 6 other teams have beaten it. I don't even know if there's a repeat in there or not. I doubt it. But 6 other teams have beaten this team in regulation, and the Ottawa Senators are one of them, right? Or I guess 7 now. But Ottawa Senators are one of those teams. And I'm sure if you look at the history there, more often than not, those are probably really good teams that are taking the Colorado in regulation. So it just goes to show you that at this time of the season, crucial things can start to happen that you can build off of. And if the Sens, if they start peaking at the right time, look out, because this is kind of a little bit like what they did last year too. They felt pretty dead like late in November and like into December last year. And all of a sudden you get on a hot run, and who knows what's going to happen if Ulmer can come back and get hot too. A lot of positives you can really lean on. They're a healthy group right now, which is huge. And hopefully, I think Jensen, did he end up coming back from that little ding he took early in the games? He did. So, I mean, yeah, for the most part, they're healthy. And I think that as long as they stay that way, get into the break with a good record here going forward, there's no reason they can't be excited for the rest of the season and get a little positivity in the room, get a little optimism among the fan base, get them behind them. And then who knows? Who knows what happens?
I love it. Yeah. Big wins are cause for celebration. Celebration is best joined amongst friends, and good vibes, the more the merrier. And the best vibes are free vibes. And you can get free vibes at the GCP, our good friends over at the Glebe Central Pub. You guys know they are our bar whenever we come back to the nation's capital, and we're planning a trip back to Ottawa. We'll keep everybody updated on that, and you can find us at the Glebe Central Pub, not only because they got great drink, great food, great people, but the shuttle is the best way to get to the game. It leaves from the bar, gets you to the game nice and early. $18 round trip. You can't beat that in this economy. Use the bus lane. They get you there quick. Go enjoy the game. Then don't worry about, hey, where did I park the car? What parking lot are we in? Oh, man, we got to deal with the mess that is trying to get an Uber at the CTC. No, the bus is going to be right where it picked you up, and it's going to bring you back where you left off at the Glebe Central Pub so you can keep on celebrating, keep on vibing with the rest of the Sens fans there. And they got live music, no cover ever, tacos, wings, trivia, so many good times to be had at the GCP. So go check out our partners at the Glebe Central Pub. The vibes are free at the GCP. This episode is also brought to you by our friends over at Quo. New year, new systems. This is the time when a lot of us look at the messier parts of how we run our business and think there's got to be a better way, and there is. Streamlining your communications is one of the quickest upgrades you can make. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Quo, the smarter way to run your business communications. Because when your team is reachable, organized, and communicating in one place, you're not just working cleaner, you're creating more opportunities to connect with customers. Your whole team can call and text from one shared business number so nothing gets missed. Everyone sees the full conversation thread, which makes replies faster and more personal. It works right from your phone or computer, and you can even keep your existing number. And Quo's smart AI tools automatically log calls, summarize conversations, and highlight next steps so details never slip through the cracks. Make this the year where no opportunity and no customer slips away. Try Quo for free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/lockedonnhl. That's quo.com/lockedonnhl. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. All right, guys, back here on the postcast, the Locked On Senators podcast. I'm Brandon Piller, joined by Jack Richardson, Laleem's Martian, after a 5-2 win over the Colorado Avalanche. Boys, this was not expected. I mean, if the Sens somehow found a way to win, I think we'd all be pretty happy. Right now, it's all about getting points. But it's not just getting the win that's important. It's not just who you get the win against, but it's how you get the win. Jack, you got to be feeling at an all-time high now. The Senators have the New Jersey Devils, who are falling out of favor. They're trading away veteran players. Andre Palat just traded away. It's another home game at the CTC. The boys are rocking at the CTC. Go to the GCP website, get your ticket for the last home game before the Olympic break. But not only that, Jack, but you got a couple days off here too. Like, this is a rare week for the Sens where they get days off and all games at home. This is setting up to be a good spot for them.
Yeah, like they've earned these 2 wins, and the fact that they got them is kind of replacing maybe the points that they lost against Montreal and Nashville, right? And if you look at it that way, you feel a lot better about where they are. Again, it's still a steep hill. They got a lot of points, a lot of ground to make up. But you can start this week, these next couple of games. You got Carolina on the road, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. Other than Carolina, those are 3 games of teams you could be in the mix against at the end of the season. Huge games, 4-point games against those teams. Where if you get hot here, boys, that's why I'm saying this team's not going away. They're hitting their stride right now. And just watching the way that they came together, the way that win happened tonight is so encouraging, because they found a way to defend well against the best team in the NHL. Nathan MacKinnon held pointless for, I believe, the 10th time this season. He's been unreal. And I didn't not expect it. Like, I wasn't like, that's what's going to happen tonight. Just so impressed with the way that they were able to defend. And they jumped quite a few teams tonight, boys. That was a game in hand if I've ever seen one. That feels good. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at this, and it honestly doesn't make me feel better. More, they did jump a few teams. Obviously, they were at the very bottom before, but I mean, there's still, what do we got here? It's 8 or 9 points behind, out of that wild card spot here still. So trying to climb back from that is that is a daunting task. But you mentioned the defense there, Jack. I mean, I pointed 2 guys on that back end, especially tonight, that aren't the usual suspects, as like Jake Sanderson is always the guys who we look to. But Thomas Chabot, I thought, had a really great game tonight, even though, his plus minus is just at the 0 point there. And I think that was thanks to the empty netter at the end, getting that one. But I mean, I thought his game was incredible tonight. The way he was creating offense, especially early in the game, jumping into the rush, circling the net himself, kind of holding on that puck for that extra second, taking a little bit of contact before making a play. I thought he was incredible tonight, and his defensive positioning as well, kind of just rolling off guys on the offense, reading plays extremely well. And I thought Thomas Chabot was incredible tonight. I just wanted to give him a shout out. But then look at Artem Zub. I mean, this guy with his +3 on the back end, he had that great reverse hit on Marty Magnus, knocked him out of the game, put him on his butt, and he did not expect that. I mean, Zub he's a big-ish guy. I think stands in around 6'1", but he's not the most physically imposing NHL player there is, that's for sure. And I don't think Netjas realized what he was going to bump into there, and it was an absolute brick wall. And he falls down, ends up with a little bit of injury there. Hopefully he's okay. But Artem Zub as well with the two apples on the night too. You throw those in the mix. I mean, that's an elite performance from Artem Zub. That definitely, contributed to all the great. I mean, usually when the Sens have a good defensive game, it has a lot to do with Artem Zub, along with Jake Sanderson. But yeah, you got to give him his love there too. Those guys, and Zub as well, leading all defensemen except for Jake Sanderson in time on ice at 21:55. I think that maybe is a little bit expected, but I just thought Zub was so solid. Chabot was incredible, and then Sanderson just kind of played his normal game, which is always insanely good. So that's the kind of, rounded out defense that we're looking for there. And we, you can't even knock Nick Jensen too much tonight either. I think we always kind of look to him to be the whipping boy a little bit, but no whippings tonight, Nick. You're safe. And I think we're happy with everything that we saw from the boys in the D end.
Yeah, maybe just a cracked whip, not at him, but that bobbled puck that led to the Parker Kelly goal was not pretty. And you didn't have to watch the replay to be like, oh, which defenseman was that?
No,
but we're not going to get into that. No direct whippings on anyone here in this one.
He was great in the third period.
Yeah, he picked it up for sure.
I will get into that goal a little bit because every single time the Avalanche have played the Senators since Parker Kelly has become a member of the Colorado Avalanche, I've bet on him to score, and I don't think he's done it yet. And forgot tonight. And of course, he ends up scoring. I actually remembered in the first period too, and I was just like, no, I'll just leave it at. Like, I could have probably even got better odds because I mean the odds on a Parker Kelly goal are always good. I think it's around +800 or something like that. And I was just like, forget it. He's not going to do it. And then sure enough. That's the way she goes, boys. The way she goes.
He's been a good fit there.
Yeah, and as we're talking about defensemen, how about that Tyler Clevin hit on Gavin Brindley by the bench? And Jack, right in front of the Sens bench too. I know you love that.
Yeah, I love when there's a big hit in front of your own bench. Yeah. And if you're the opposing player, you hear it from everyone. My favorite part about that, Pilsy, though, and this is a trend with Clevin, that Zetterlund got flattened right before that.
Manson.
Clevin's done this before, where as soon as one of his guys gets flattened, he steps up and hits someone immediately. Same shift, next shift, whatever it is. The timing of his hits, not even just making them, but like momentum-wise in the barn, I can just imagine the feeling on that bench, especially if you're Zetterlund. You get back up, kind of shaking off the cobwebs after a huge hit. Then you look up and your defenseman's doing the same thing. Big morale boost. Clevin was throwing the body. He had another big one tonight. He was awesome. He was awesome tonight.
That's the way you respond.
Choo-choo. Yeah,
Stay off the tracks.
That was crazy. I want to ask each of you, Martian, I'll start with you. I'm curious to see if you guys have different answers. What was the big moment of this game? Not necessarily the TSN turning point, because I feel like the Sens were in control for most of this game, which sounds crazy to say up against the Avalanche. But Martian, what goal, moment, play for you was the one?
I'm torn between two right now, and I'm hoping Jack's going to pick up the other one, but I actually think that the Ridley Greig goal was the most important one for me, just because it was such a quick response to what Colorado had going. So I'm going to go with Ridley Greig, yeah, for sure. And the chat seems to be agreeing with me, but I mean, Jack, like Giroux scored a big goal too there, so I don't know if you want to describe.
I might go a different direction here, boys, and it might kind of lead into some SensCentral standouts for me. And I think I got to talk about Jake Sanderson. I just tonight that was one of the best games I've ever seen him play defensively tonight against that kind of competition. For me, the play I'm going to point out is his play on Makar when the broadcast was somehow convinced that Makar did that little fake thing by accident or on purpose, whatever, when he broke in, split Pinto. And the best chance that top unit generated for the Avalanche all night, Makar's alone in the slot on a breakaway. He cocks it back to shoot, and Jake Sanderson gets his stick right on the puck deflects it out of play onto the next shift. I was beside myself. I want to go back and watch how I reacted to that because I thought that was the best play. That wasn't a goal all night, and I just think it capitalized kind of what an impressive performance that was from that unit defensively. It's such an underrated play, but to get his stick in there that quickly with that kind of player in the slot to tie the game, that's the moment for me.
Yep, that was a big one. I'm with you, Marcy, though. I think the Ridley Greig one was it for me, just because the Avs tie it at 1-1, and then you're thinking, oh, man, we let them back into this game. And then 17 seconds later, it's like, nope, psych. One of producer Ross's favorite moments while they're still announcing the goal on the PA system. You yank one back and you get back to the lead. Because after that, the Sens held the lead the rest of the game. So that was a big one.
I will say too, though, for the record, Makar definitely meant to do that. That was
I think so too.
That was a fake pass that 3 Sens bid on, and I mean, like, that's the kind of thing that only really elite players will pull off. And people are like, did he do that on purpose? Did he not do that on purpose? And then you look at who it is, and you go, it's like a McDavid thing. It's like he did it on purpose. Like, there's no way he's completely missing the puck whiffing on a pass. It's like a 10-foot pass.
But shout out Jake Sanderson for preventing that goal from ending up on highlight reels everywhere because, I mean, he's alone in the slot. Who knows if Reimer would have made that save, but he had a corner picked and, like, he stops it with that play on stick on puck. Just so elite. So elite.
Yeah, absolutely massive. And we're going to get to our SensCentral standouts right after a quick message from our friends over at FanDuel. It's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, the final chance to get in on the action before the NFL season officially comes to a close. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're right in the middle of it with a special offer just in time for the biggest game of the year. Whether you're betting the favorite, riding with the underdog, or building one last same-game parlay, this is the game everyone's been waiting for. This is where predictions turn into plays, stats turn into storylines, and every snap feels bigger. It's the perfect way to cap off the season and make the Super Bowl even more exciting from kickoff to the final whistle. If you're a new customer, bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Make it count, because after the Super Bowl, the NFL season's over. That's it. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. All right, sure, the Super Bowl is a big game, but there's no bigger game than the Ottawa Senators. We all know that here. And the Ottawa Senators get a 5-2 win over the Colorado Avalanche at the CTC. That's now 2 straight wins after I've pressed the panic button. And Jack, I'm going to lead you into our SensCentral standouts because I'm going to let you have your guy here. And we've pulled up the game score breakdown, and I'm sure you can use a little bit of this to fuel your SensCentral standout as well.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of cheating, though, with this because what I like doing when we do the SensCentral standouts is checking that after and seeing how close we were to the best players. But obviously, one of the guys I'm picking with that is Jake Sanderson. Like I mentioned, in a game with the best defenseman in the game, I thought Jake Sanderson was the best defenseman this game tonight. He was so good. NHL.com has him at 27 shifts tonight, 24 minutes, 43 seconds. Nathan McKinnon had 26 shifts, one less than Sanderson. Call that a power play shift, whatever it was. Basically, every time that number 29 for the Avalanche came over the boards, 85 was on the ice. And I'm talking double shifts, long shifts, whatever it is. The 2 days off did wonders for Jake Sanderson's legs. He had all the energy tonight and never doesn't. But I think that's the best game we've seen him play. And I like that he got an assist, so he at least got a point. But that's saying something because this kid keeps surprising us defensively every night. He doesn't get a goal tonight. I just thought he shut down one of the best players in the world tonight, and he was so good all game, skating with them. And it got to the point, boys, not to keep going on Sanderson, but it got to the point McKinnon made a couple rush plays in the second period where instead of attacking the net like he always does, he's the best in the league at attacking the net with speed. He pulled up a couple times because he wasn't getting by number 85. Just unbelievable performance from their best player. I'm gushing about Jake Sanderson. I can't stop talking about that game he played.
Yeah, Sandy was so good, and he had to be to stifle Makar and McKinnon in multiple instances. So I like that one, Jack. Martian, normally as the host, I would pass it off to you next, but I want to make sure I get my guy. I don't think you're going to take him, and I think this way I'll allow you to get your guy. I'm trying to line it up so we all get our guys here.
No problem, buddy.
Brian Nicholas Cousins had an amazing game.
You took my guy.
I took your guy. Okay, nice. Well, I'm glad I snuck in here then, Marshy, because this was the poor Cuz experience right here. Like, he started off so hot. He just played a perfect all-round game for what the Ottawa Senators want from him. And he finishes this game with a goal, obviously, +1, 16 minutes, 44 seconds, which is a season high of ice time. I mean, think about that, boys. Nick Cousins playing 16 minutes and 44 seconds. Doesn't stop there. 3 shots on goal, 1 block, and it was a big one. He blocked a big shot in the second period. 3 hits. And oh yeah, to keep going, how about 1 for 1 in the face-off dot? Nick Cousins, 100% in the draws, and his goal was a beauty. Started off by an Artem Zub stretch pass. Great heads-up play by Zub to spot him at the blue line. And then I didn't know Cousins had wheels like that. He wheels down the wing and backhand beats Blackwood up high to open the scoring. And the boys were fired up, and you saw later another Nick Cousins moment I loved. He wasn't even on the ice for when Brady Tkachuk scores that empty net goal standing right by the bench. Nick Cousins just grabs him and puts him in a full bear hug, and then is like punching him, just yelling at him. Like, he was absolutely like, you don't see people get that fired up about an empty net goal when you're not even on the ice. So this guy, when he's on his game, he plays a crucial part in the Ottawa Senators game. And again, clean sheet in the penalties. Nick Cousins, good disciplined boy. He gets to stay on that third line, and Travis Green gives him his cookies, gives him a little more ice time. So sorry, Marshy, but I had to get in there because I wanted to make sure Nick Cousins got some love, and it was a great game for him.
I like to think that, Pilsy, you knew I was going to take him, and that's why you kind of jumped the queue there.
No, I promise I didn't think you were going to take him, but I was worried.
That's a Nick Cousins move to steal that SensCentral standout.
That was a Nick Cousins move. I mean, that's the Belleville rat, man. That's the beauty in him, right? Like, incredible game from him tonight. I couldn't agree more. You did a great job breaking it down there, Pilsy. And you left me with my second option, which isn't a bad one. I thought that the grizzled veteran tonight, Claude Giroux, deserves a little bit of a shout out. I thought that the shot on his goal was an incredible shot. He comes out of this one a +2, 17:34 on ice, 4 shots on goal, 50% in the dot. And that's on a night where the Ottawa Senators were 38% in the dot, which isn't great. They usually are much better than that. And I just thought that Claude Giroux, for what I feel like, and I know the points have been there for him. I mean, he's like half a point per game, I think, most of this year. Claude Giroux tonight, I thought was very solid. He only really had one moment where I was like, oh, I didn't like that play from Claude. It was like a bit of a giveaway, and then I got a half-ass back check. But I thought that Claude Giroux did his thing out there tonight. Nice defensive game. He always contributes in that manner. And then the goal was extremely timely to put the Sens up 3-1. So I'm going to go with the grizzled vet, Claude Giroux. And I know Ross would have probably taken him if he was here because that's his guy. So somebody's got to cover that for him.
All right. I actually thought you were going to go Thomas Chabot, Marshy. That's why I left that there.
I already talked about Chabot, so I decided to move on to someone else. There's a lot of guys we can talk about, so
we can even snap it around twice. I wouldn't even be.
I mean, if you guys want to give some shout outs, go for it. Jack?
Sure. Yeah, I'll just go. No stats tonight for Shane Pinto, but again, he's part of that unit for me. I thought he had one of his better games in a long time. Like I'm going shift count again, 27 shifts, 22 minutes, 19 seconds as a forward. That's just hopping over the boards every single time McKinnon's out there. And for a guy like Pinto doesn't skate the best, he's not a fast skater coming back from that injury too, to go match it up against Nathan McKinnon and come out as an even rating, no points for McKinnon tonight. Great game from Shane Pinto. That's why you pay him what they extended him to. I know the offense hasn't quite been there for him, but that to me is exactly why Shane Pinto's elite, that kind of shutdown center role. And I thought he was great tonight.
Marshy, any more shout outs?
Well, I mean, you got to give a little love to James Reimer, I feel like. He's coming out of here with another win. He didn't have to make a whole ton of saves, so it's only 16 on the night, but he's not quite at that that over 900 save percentage that we look to as Sens fans. We want that average goaltending, but 889 is not too terrible. And I thought that he made the saves that he needed to make sure that they won the game, and that's all you can ask out of a nice goalie. So let's give it to the other nice grizzled vet on the team here, James Reimer. I mean, this guy's been around for a long time. He knows how to win hockey games.
Yeah, we're at a point now where I don't care what your save percentage is, your goals against, your goal save above expected, any of the analytics. All we need is dubs and points, and James Reimer got that done tonight in a 5-2 win for the Ottawa Senators over the Colorado Avalanche. The Sens outshot the Avalanche 23. I believe it ended up being 18, but honestly, the way they were putting shots up and taking them down and putting them up all over the game here, who knows how it actually shook out. The Ottawa Senators do not score on the power play. However, they do get 2 goals on the empty net if we're looking at special teams here. And most importantly, they do not take a single penalty all game up against the best team in the NHL. So the Avs 0-for-0 on the power play. Rare night where the Sens lose in the faceoff dot, 62% to 38. Sens out hit the Avalanche 31-24. They outblock the Avalanche 12-10. And this kind of surprises me. I don't know about you guys, but the Sens lose the 5-on-5 expected goals percentage battle, 47.3 to 52.7. Jack, that's one where you're watching this game and like this stat, I'm starting to lose a little bit of faith in the 5v5 expected goals percentage because it doesn't always line up for me.
Yeah, I think that's a third period boost. I bet you if you looked in the first 2 periods, that's a different story. I think Colorado had a great third period, but it's also the Sens. Like they were playing, I think I said it in the first period there, Pilsy. It was a Guy Boucher-esque kind of trap from the Sens for a good defensive team. But that to me was the third period because actually I think that the broadcast put up the money puck deserved to win a meter through 2 periods. I was like, what are we doing? Not this again.
Don't do that. That's like the shutout curse almost.
Yeah, but that was like 70% in the Sens' favor. So they were carrying the play in the first 2 periods. That's just and I like to say this because it was actually in the Sens' favor. That's a score effects 5-on-5 goals for expected there, Pilsy. Nice to be on this side of it though.
Yeah, and LOSP stats department saying the Avs were 75% in 5v5 expected goals in the third period.
That tracks.
Woof. That'll sway those stats in their favor for sure.
Again, though, Pilsy, not to keep harping on the analytics and stuff, but what it doesn't measure though is like how confident I felt in the Sens. The only reason I didn't feel confident in the way they were sitting back and defending is because of how the games have gone in the past couple weeks, right? With the Montreal one and everything. But that was clinical. That was clinical at the end, and they deserve every ounce of credit for that win. That was the best win of the season, hands down.
Yeah, agreed. Got to be the best win of the season. And it's awesome that there's so many Sens fans here with us in the postcast. 466. It's a vibecast, so the more the merrier. Everyone is welcome. And we are thankful for all the starred comments. I'll just read them off here. Sorry, Marshy, you're getting hidden under this one from our good friend Jim George K1N. Thank you. Appreciate it. I never ever want to hear D is a problem on this team. It is and always been goaltending. We better not trade Zub. I've heard Minnesota is ready to trade Jesper. We should definitely try to grab him if true. Go Sens go. There you go, Martian. I'll let you breathe a little. What do you think about these Wallstead rumors?
It's interesting that Minnesota is willing to part with him. I mean, that just goes to show you how good of a goalie they think Philip Gustafson is, if that's true. And also that they're, looking to shop a really good young goaltender who I think a lot of teams in the league would be interested in to look to, obviously get something going either on their back end or up front on forward. I think they're looking for a centerman, I think is what the rumor is there, right? So they're obviously all in. They went and got Quinn Hughes, but I mean, for me, it's like what they're asking for, I think, for a guy like Wallstead isn't something that the Sens at this point should be even entertaining. I mean, what does that look like? Is that Shane Pinto? No, thanks. I think we're probably good on that, right? Like we got got a couple goalies here we can try to figure things out with. Hopefully, I mean, we got an $8.25 million goaltender waiting in the wings here, ready to come back hopefully soon. And so when that happens, we just got to hope for the best there. I mean, like, you can't just bring in Wallstead and say, hey, you're a starter now, and still have Ullmark on the team. So it's not really something that the Sens could really do. So I'm not looking at it like that.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for the Sens right now. You got to hope to solve that problem within. And maybe we'll touch on a little bit more later on Locked On Senators podcast. Sens fans in Van. We love our Sens fans in Van. Thank you. Appreciate it. Again, 2007 vibes. This team is skilled and gritty and healthy and peaking. Also, apologies for audio issues during Boots on the Ground report after Vegas game. That was all time. We were having some technical difficulties there, but we worked through it. We always appreciate Sens fans in Van. And yeah, skilled, gritty, healthy, peaking. You love to be all those things. P Babs 11 statement win. These last two games keep firing. Agreed. P Babs couldn't have said it better myself. Keep firing. And finally, Vernon Collin 5580. So who starts next game, boys? Jack?
It's gotta be Ullmark. It's time, man. Let's see the big man. Let's get him back in the pipes. Momentum going for the team. I think it's a great chance. Last home game before the Olympic break. He's got to make a start at home. I think this is the time, Saturday.
Marshy, you recently tweeted the only goalie strategy you're going with is win and stay in. Matt Sogard gets a 7-1 win. Back down to Belleville. James Reimer gets a 5-2 win. Does that mean he starts against New Jersey on Saturday? Where are you leaning?
I mean, it depends. Like, if Ullmark says he's ready to go, then I think you kind of have to put him in if he says he's ready to go. But obviously the Sens aren't listening to me anyway, so it doesn't matter when you're sending down Ullmark after a nice 1-goal game. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if Ullmark's not ready to go, there really is only one option, and that's James Reimer. And I think everybody should be comfortable with that at this point. He's proven now that he can at least hang. So that's all you're looking for. Yeah. So I'll say James Reimer just to disagree maybe a little bit, but again, I do think if Ullmark's ready, then you kind of have to go with him.
All right. Well, I'll go Hunter Shepard just to keep things interesting. No, just kidding. All right. And it doesn't. If the boys play like this, honestly,
it doesn't matter. I could play goalie for this team sometimes, man. Like that was they're an elite defensive team. Can we accept that now? What we watched tonight was so impressive, man, and they finally showed it in the full 60-minute effort. So good.
Yeah, if you could play that good defensively and not take penalties, goaltending it shouldn't play a major factor in these games. So yeah, just an incredible win here. Martian, any final thoughts before we head out here?
Yeah, actually, it just reminds me, there's something that my girlfriend said in the first period of the game, towards the end of the first period. She said, "This is boring." I said, boring is good in this game. So I'm thinking right now, this team's new strategy should be boring is good. We want to play that. We just want to play winning hockey. We don't care as fans how they do it. Honestly, we just need wins. So let's just keep this train rolling and get those W's.
Yeah, shout out Bree. Every Sens fan watching the game with their girlfriend, wife, spouse, partner, they love hearing them be like, "This is so boring." And you're like, "What? Did you see that play in the neutral zone by Sanderson? That was sick." Jack, what are your final statements for this postcast?
I think just keep it rolling. 2-0 since the panic button was pushed. Maybe this becomes a thing, man. Maybe Pilsey's panic button saved the season on Saturday night. But what a turn of events. And yeah, it's kind of unfortunate they're not playing again soon until Saturday, boys. Another big break here.
Yeah.
2 days. But
we'll let the boys earned a bit of a break here, and you hope that they can keep things rolling as finally up against an Eastern Conference team again, any team now that you've beaten the Colorado Avalanche is a team you should feel like you can beat. So we're fired up about it. It's been an ultimate vibe cast here on the Locked On Senators podcast. Thank you so much for the 450 people in the chat. This has been awesome. We love covering Sens wins, and now we got 2 of them in a row. Let's keep it going, keep it firing, keep it peaking with another one up against the New Jersey Devils on Saturday. Ross and I will break down this game tomorrow. We'll get Ross's opinion on how the game went, who should play next game. I'm sure there will be no debate between me and Ross on that. We always agree on these kinds of things. And we'll just keep vibing as Sens fans. Just keep believing, guys. We believe in miracles now. And it's fun to win games. For myself, Brandon Piller, for Jack Richardson, for Piller Martian, thank you to our sponsors, the Glebe Central Pub. This has been another edition of the Locked On Senators podcast. Hit some GSGs in the chat. You guys already know what to do. Thank you for tuning in. It's the Locked On Senators podcast. It's your team every day.